Nama Darwin Silakan.
Darwin, nama saya Carmen. Thank you for bringing us. Terima kasih. Okay, so I'm here with Leon Harant, and he's been hitchhiking and traveling the world for over 1.5 years now. It's almost 2 years, right?
2 years almost.
2
Hey guys.
years
Hey,
almost.
nice to meet you.
So we're currently on the back of a pickup truck, and we are hitchhiking from where?
I have actually no idea. In the middle of Sumatra, Indonesia.
Also, I have no idea where we're going. Where are we going?
It's called Tuk Tuk, but it's in the biggest volcano crater lake in the whole world.
While we were on this hitchhike, the two of us just started chatting about what is nice about hitchhiking versus normal traveling and how it's just such an amazing way to connect with the locals, it's the country. So this is an intro to a podcast we will actually be filming while we're in a suitable situation.
While we're hitchhiking.
But right now we're doing the intro, so we wanted to kind of give you a little glimpse into what this is like.
Yes, exactly. I hope you will like it, guys.
See you on the other side. Yay. Okay, so I'm sitting here today with Leon Harant,
Hey guys.
and we met about 5 months ago. I was volunteering at this hostel in Vietnam, and he was a guest, and we just immediately got along, and we've kind of been traveling together ever since. Sometimes just the two of us, sometimes with a group, but we've been having all these really interesting conversations about hitchhiking and camping, because for the first time since I've been traveling, so I'm coming up on 3 years now, but for the first time since I've met him, I've been hitchhiking, I've been wild camping, and if you've listened to some of the previous podcasts, you would know, I mean, we were wild camping in Thailand.
In Vietnam a bit,
Yeah.
and now here in Indonesia.
We're in Sumatra, in the north of Indonesia at the moment. You can see the lovely studio we have here. And if you hear all the animal sounds, just let it be. That's our studio for today. But so firstly, I want to ask Leon to share his story about how long he's been hitchhiking, why he does it, why he loves it, to maybe inspire you to travel a little bit more wildly and be more adventurous and get off the beaten backpacker path and really experience the culture of the place where you're in. Because that's what I've been finding since I've been traveling this way. I'll share my own experience with you in a bit. But firstly, Leon, please tell us, how long have you been traveling like this, and how exactly do you travel?
I started traveling 1 year and 8 months ago. I started hitchhiking in Germany, or not really in Germany, in Croatia. And now I ended up here in Indonesia. I'm from the center of Germany, called Leipzig, or Jena to be exactly. And it's just a small city and not really common for hitchhiking or like a typical travel spot. But I was always into these kind of things because, I don't know, it feels free. And the whole inspiring I got 8 years ago, I think, from a book called With 50 Years Around the World. I was reading that and kind of got the idea that I could do the same. And then this idea just started growing into my mind. It was just a question of time and money a bit. Then almost 2 years ago, I started it.
Just repeat the name of the book for the listeners.
It's called 50 Years Around the World.
I remember the first time you told me about this book,
Yes.
and where we had this conversation, we were in Vietnam and we were sitting outside the little hostel bar and just talking about this until like 3 a.m. with the rain pouring down. And it was so inspiring to me to hear somebody talk about travel in this way, because it's really travel for travel's sake. It's not about going on vacation. It's not about luxury or staying in hotels. It's actually about seeing the world, because you want to see the world
Exactly.
and gain that kind of experience.
Yeah.
So what is the book about, and how do you actually travel around the world with $50?
So this guy just had 50 euros in the beginning, and I think in the end he ended up traveling for 5 years.
Wow.
Learned 6 new languages and stayed at many places just to learn about the culture and everything, and work again to earn some money. And I kind of think that brings you like to the roots of traveling, because you are not like up from the locals, like having money, you can just spend everything. So you kind of need the locals, and they are also like happy that you are there. And then it's a like, how can I say, it's a interaction with them. Like I'm standing at the street and try to hitchhike and hope that they pick me up. And it's the locals who picks me up. And they are interested in my story, in my culture, my language, whatever. It's kind of a symbiosis.
Yeah, a symbiotic relationship.
Symbiotic relationship, what you get from that. And yeah, this guy just started it and then was sailing about the Atlantic, ended up in South America, needed money, work in Panama. And then you learn also new jobs where you get maybe the same salary than the locals there and see how it is instead of just taking the bus from place to place. I think if you travel like this or also with the plane, it's nice. If you don't have time, I think it's valid. But if you have time, and then it's more about the way and not about the places itself.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about this yesterday while we were on a hitchhike, and something that came up that I found really inspiring was this idea of how hitchhiking humbles you, because you're standing on the side of the road, you're waiting for the kindness of strangers, and like you said, it's locals who pick you up, right? And you're kind of dependent on them now. And like the woman who picked us up yesterday, she needed to stop at the local food market because she needed to buy vegetables, and she's like, is it okay? Yeah, we're like, yeah, of course. We're just happy you picked us up. And so eventually,
just her normal life.
Just her normal life. And then we went with her. We got out. We went into the local food market. Everybody is so confused that these two foreigners are there.
What are they doing here?
But it was so nice. I tried mangosteen for the first time, and it was so good. And it's those little random moments that make it really beautiful. And I like that it puts you in a position where you're not this foreigner who comes spending their euros or spending their dollars, and the only interaction you really have with the locals is like maybe they're the people at the cafe serving you coffee, or the people in the shop who's like ringing up your items. They're actually the ones who you're dependent on. They're picking you up, they're showing you a little glimpse into their everyday mundane life. And just the fact that you're on that equal ground makes the interaction so much softer and more open and authentic, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I remember just before I did this trip, I never hitchhiked that much. I was living in a village close to a city, like 10 minutes of driving, but we were up the hill and the city was down there. And the last bus from my village to the city went at 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the city and come back and your parents don't have time to get you up there, which was the case often. I took my longboard, drove down to the city, spent my time there, and then I had to go up somehow. And walking 1.5 hours up was not an option. So I start standing on the street and holding my thumbs up and hope that somebody picks me up. And it worked really well. I was really surprised that I was like, never waited more than half an hour, and you learn about the people of your village. Like sometimes people pick you up you never met before and they live in your village, and you're like, oh, hey, you're this? Oh, okay, nice to meet you. I think that was the first idea, and I did this quite often. So that was my only experience of hitchhiking, but I think it's possible everywhere because you have kind people all over the world and people who are trying to help you, or maybe it takes in one country more time than in another, but in the end, I think you always get picked up.
Yeah. So what is your route? Tell us from the beginning. When you started in Germany, how did it play out?
So I started kind of in Germany, but it was still cold in the beginning of June, and I kind of wanted to be a little bit far for starting, like not at the home point, you know, like felt better to get a Flixbus, and I took it to the north of Croatia called Rijeka. I think I will never forget this day. So it took me like 18 hours to go there, and it drove the whole night and I couldn't sleep. I was still like nervous for my first big trip. The first time out of home, camping, hitchhiking, and whatever was waiting for me. And I arrived in the north of Croatia in Rijeka at like 8 a.m. without any sleep. And I will never forget this moment going out of this bus, taking my backpack for the first time on my shoulders for a longer time, and don't have any idea where to go or what to do. And I walked out of the city and tried to get my first ride after non-sleep. But and it took me like quite a time, I think 1.5, 2 hours I was waiting for my first ride. Like, oh fuck, okay, is this a good idea? What I'm doing?
Questioning all your life choices.
Like what do I do here? Yeah, because you're scared, right? It's like new and you don't know if it works out, if it's a stupid idea, if it's just a seed which will never grow. And yeah, then I got picked up, and I think the second ride was even faster. And then you look on the maps and you see like, oh, you're actually like going somewhere.
Yeah.
You're moving.
Yeah.
And I had all time now, so there was no rush. And then you see, oh, I'm going and going. Even if you wait, sometimes at some point you will get picked up, and let's see where you end up. Yeah, then it worked out, and in the first month I made a lot of kilometers. So I went from Croatia. I never wanted to take the highway at this point. I just wanted to be at the coastline.
That's really nice.
And even if it's slower, because you don't have people who go that far, it's really nice because in the evening it's get dark. So I just went to the ocean, slept there in my hammock for the first time as well. And in the morning packed my things again and back to the road. And then from Croatia, I made my way down to Montenegro, Albania, Greece. Greece was horrible for hitchhiking. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I don't know. The people are just different. They don't have this mindset of hitchhiking. Like you're standing at the side of the road and people are looking at you like you're an animal.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's really not a nice feeling there. But then at some point a nice guy picks you up and then you're like, oh, okay. It's not that bad, but if you stay 3-4 hours there and everyone is just watching at you, even it could rain, it could be 40 degrees, they wouldn't care. I think that was my first like down from hitchhiking, but I still made it to the north of Crete before I went to Turkey. And then Turkey changed again because the people there are super nice and try to help you as well and invite you for a chai tea or some kebab or whatever. Yeah, and after Turkey, I tried to go down as well to Cyprus and then Egypt. And from Egypt then down my way to Saudi Arabia. But I was kind of stuck after I arrived in Cyprus. And so I made it back to Turkey. And after that, I went to Iraq, a crazy country. I mean, it was the first time, like any time in my life that I went to Asia. I haven't been there before.
And the first country is Iraq.
yes.
Most people are like, oh, backpacking in Thailand, Mad Monkey hostels. You're like, we're going to Iraq.
Let's go to Iraq. And all my family was like, oh, why are you going there? What the fuck? Like, then tried to send me the warnings out of my government.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but I said like, no, I believe it's possible. And I have my haircutter. Big cravings in Mardan at this point.
Wait, give them context about the barber.
Yes, it's my haircutter in my city. His name is Mardan, and he always told me, if you go to Iraq, tell me, and I will connect you to my family. And I did, and they drove 1 hour to get me from the border and brought me to their home, and they helped me to get money because there are no ATMs for foreigners in Iraq.
Really?
Yes, I didn't know that before, so I went there without any cash, and if I wouldn't have them, I would have another big problem. And they bought for me a SIM card. They didn't want any money for that. They invited me for 3-4 days staying with them, got food, they showed me around. The whole family came to see me make pictures. That was the first incredible experience, I think, for that country.
So your barber's family just drove an hour and a half to pick you up from the border, bought you a SIM card, looked after you while you were in Iraq. That's so... And
then I sent money to my barber and he said that it's to his family that they could take it from their ATM because they just accept like the local credit cards.
First in a series of a lot of lucky events that kept following you. Yeah.
But I think it was a good start. If you don't have this connection, not probably you have another luck. Like you always find nice people who are trying to help you. But it was definitely a lot of luck.
So after you said goodbye to them, did you camp in Iraq?
That's also funny. I tried to camp, but in the end, out of these 14 days, I had to camp 1 day outside because every single day you get invited from so many people there. They meet you and after 5 minutes they say, are you hungry? I invite you for food. Oh, where do you sleep? Outside? No, sleep at my home. And
it's incredible.
That continued every day with random people, and I even have to say no to some people. Like to 5 people today that, oh no, sorry, I already have a sleeping place.
That's amazing.
It's insane. And after Iraq, I wanted to go to Saudi Arabia. Border was not open for foreigners. So I had to go a little bit back to turn to Jordan. Jordan was completely different to Iraq. Like the people were not that nice, and it's a really poor country, even more than Iraq. Like I wouldn't expect it. They took my drone at the border.
I remember that
You know
story.
that story as well. So I didn't have a good start with Jordan, but it kind of continued. Like everyone wanted money for hitchhiking. Then I had to sleep outside more because this invitation getting less.
I have a question
Yes.
for that. I'm sure they're wondering, what do you do in a situation like that when you're in the car and they've taken you a long way and you realize, oh, they're actually expecting money for this ride? Because it's not about not wanting to give money. It's about this rule, this sense of hitchhiking, of adventure, of like the rule of not spending money for transportation. So when you get that vibe, how did you deal with that? And did you ever get, I don't know, in a bad situation or in a conflict?
It depends. Like in the beginning, I would say I was just going into any car and then maybe found out later that they want to have money.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit smarter, but in the beginning it was more, how can I say? I just said, oh, you are going there? Okay, I come with you. So, and I also said like where I want to go.
Yeah.
Now I ask, where are you going? That I can say, okay, if it's a taxi driver or not. Because if it's a taxi driver, he's asking me more and more like where I want to go. And
Interesting. Good tip.
don't tell me exactly where he's going.
Yeah.
Because he said, oh, I can bring you there. And you also kind of get the vibe. After some months of hitchhiking, you know which kind of people these are, if they want money or not. But in the beginning, normally I was like speaking to them, and then at some point I found maybe out, oh, they want money.
Yeah.
And then I said like, no, sorry, I don't have money, or because they don't understand this concept of hitchhiking sometimes. So it doesn't help you if you say, no, I do hitchhiking, you explain this. No, you say, oh, sorry, I don't have money, or I try to get free rides, and then they say no free. Then you say, okay, just drop me off in the middle of the street, please, and I get another ride. Because in the first place, I don't want that they bring me somewhere if they don't go there on their own and then want money, because it's a taxi ride. That's not what I want. I want to find people who going in the same direction and are kind enough to take me there for free, because they go there anyways. And still some people, like in Jordan, it happened a lot that people go somewhere where I want to go as well, and they just say, okay, yeah, but we want money from you. And they say, no. And then they say, okay, bye-bye, just drive away. Yeah.
Drop you off in the desert.
Yeah, or even like stop for me, and then sometimes they ask in the beginning already for money, and then you can just say, no money, and then they
Bye-bye.
wave at you, say literally bye-bye, and drive away. That happens quite often. But now I think I kind of get that vibe. I ask like, hey, where are you going? Can you show me on the map? And then can you take me there? And if I have the feeling maybe he wants money or not, I just have, like, I say like, hey, no money, okay? And they say, okay, then I come in, and if no, I just wait for another ride. Even if it's sometimes like you really want to reach or arrive somewhere, 5 euros, It always worked out that I say like, no, I will find a free ride, and then 5 minutes later, a super nice guy stops for you and invite you even for a tea or something, you have nice conversations. And then you get the spirit of hitchhiking back.
Yes, and that's also the point, right? Because the people who just want to take you out of the kindness of their heart, they're usually the people who are open, who want to get to know you, who want to show you their culture and the nice part of their country, right?
Yes.
And that's the whole point, is connecting with people on that level and not on a monetary level. So to have interactions and connections with locals that aren't transactional, that's the whole point of this. And I think that's so cool. Okay, continue. What next?
After Jordan, I went to Saudi Arabia, hitchhiking by like 50 degrees sometimes. I think I was never that tanned in my life before.
You're pretty tan now.
Yeah, then I was even more tanned that time. And after Jordan, I found really, really nice guys who invited me 10 days to just spend with them in the middle of the desert. That was literally the first stop after Jordan. I arrived somewhere late and I wanted to get a SIM card. And there were one guy, Abdullah, and his older cousin. He was like my age, and his older cousin was like 40. And they were super cool. And this guy really wanted to invite me and show me around. And I was like, yeah, okay, I come with you. And because I was still a little bit like, not fucked up, but annoyed from Jordan, I have to say. They just invited me at home, invited me for food. They didn't want to let me pay for anything in the next 10 days.
For 10 days?
10 days
they
I spent with them.
You. That's incredible.
They drove me to the desert, they drove me to this oasis. They wanted to show me everything and didn't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
So after I left them, I tried to hitchhike to Jeddah. So I hitchhiked the Red Sea coastline down. And it was like 1,000 kilometers. One guy stopped for me and we spoke about what I'm doing. And he was so happy about that because he said, "Oh, you're living my dream. So how can I help you? Maybe you can have my second car. Just go there."
No way.
I was like, "No, I cannot accept that. I want to hitchhike. How can I return that?" He said, "No, just leave it there." I said, No. I tried to hitchhike. And he said, "Okay, then I want to give you a present." And we stopped in a shop and he came back out of the shop with like a gift packed in and I said, "Oh, what is this?" He said, "Oh, it's a nice perfume." "Oh, thank you." And the next day I Googled this perfume and it costs 120 euros.
No way.
just random, like
that's so
just
amazing.
a gift. Maybe I was stinky.
It's more a gift for him.
Yes, maybe. After sleeping outside, could be. And then it continued. People invited me for food. Then I got invited from a really nice group, which I found in the south of Saudi Arabia, for a 4 days hiking trip because they also really liked what I'm doing. And they organize hiking groups, and you have to pay for it like $600-700 for like 4 days.
Crazy.
Including food and accommodation and everything. And they just took me for free. I was their highlight, they told me.
You were the entertainment.
Yeah, literally. And it was so nice spending time with them. Just this hospitality in Saudi Arabia is insane. They have money and this Islam thinking that they really want to invite people because I don't know if you know, but I think I told you, in Islam they have this rule that if they see any traveler, they have to accommodate them and give them food for like 3 days without questioning. They will give you accommodation and food just because it's in their religion.
Yeah, that's amazing. On that point, I want to just interject. We talk a lot about white privilege.
I want to tell that.
So I want to hear your thoughts on that. And also, like, obviously, how do you think it would be different if you were a woman traveling through those countries?
I definitely have the white privilege there, and I felt it in Saudi Arabia a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're really nice to you, and I don't want and I can't say anything against that what they did to me because it was just
because it's amazing,
pleasure.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, these kind of people which are super nice to you take you to a nice coffee shop, and instead of going in, ordering a coffee, being nice to the waiter or whatever, they just drive to the restaurant and honk that long that the waiter comes out, just open a window a bit, say what they want, no hello, no thank you. And inside are people coming from Bangladesh, India, Philippines, whatever. So you feel the difference how they treat people. So there are definitely two sides, what I have to tell. That's, one is my experience on my own, and one is what I see how they treat other people.
And also probably how different your experience would have been if you were a black person hitchhiking or somebody from India, or you know, like you wouldn't have the same experience at all.
I think I told you the story, right? Where I was then in the end after Saudi Arabia, I went to Oman, and at the border, normally in these kind of countries, it's not allowed to walk over the border. So you have to find a ride which brings you over the border.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, in Southeast Asia, in Europe, it's not a problem. You can just walk over the border. But in these countries, you have to get a car. So I was standing in front of the border trying to hitchhike, but I was not alone. There was, I think, one other African guy and one from Bangladesh also trying to get a car which takes them. They were standing like 10 meters behind me, and nobody picked us up. And I was like, okay, that's new for me as well. And I kind of got the vibe that it's because they thought I'm also from these kind of countries, that people don't stop for me.
And you're so tan.
And I'm tan, so I probably looked similar. Maybe just a little bit taller. But so I went 50 meters before them and took my passport out.
A German passport?
A German passport. And literally the first car came, stopped for me. And I asked him, why did you stop? And he said, just because I saw your passport.
That's
like
wild.
Literally just because he saw my passport, he stopped for me. But that was also like really crazy experiences. Yeah.
Okay, and talk a bit about the gender gap in traveling like that. Because for me, it's been no issue hitchhiking with you. I mean, you're this big 2-meter tall guy. So I know I always feel safe. You know what you're doing. But I still don't know. And I think I'm a pretty irresponsible person. I don't know if I would hitchhike by myself. Here, maybe, yeah. Like Indonesian people are so nice. You feel really safe here. But in countries like Iraq and Saudi Arabia, is it even possible?
Yeah.
Like, are you even allowed to be on the street as a woman? I don't know how crazy it is there.
I think it depends. I know definitely a woman who does that kind of things. And I would say it's always possible. There's always a way to do that, even as a woman. But it's definitely more risky.
Yeah.
It's definitely you have to hear more your intuition. But as a woman, you really have to feel which kind of vibe you get from the driver. And also, like, is he driving alone? What is he telling you? Like, come in, or like, how's just the whole vibe?
Yeah.
Maybe make a picture of the number plate, send it to your friends. Never tell that you are run out of battery.
Yeah.
I think there are still some things that you can do to save yourselves from these situations.
Yeah.
Or having pepper spray in the last case. Or maybe I think the best case to just start it is also like, you don't have to do it alone. There's no rules about it. You can also just do it with your best friend. And 2 women are definitely stronger than 1. And then you're maybe also more comfortable in the car with just 1 guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't go into a car where 3 guys sitting inside.
Yeah. It's so sad that we have to think about stuff like
Definitely.
this.
And I'm happy that I have this privilege, but I'm really sad that it is like this. But you know my friend Courtney, for example?
Yeah, I was thinking about her. So Leon has this really cool friend. Her name is Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. Probably watching as well.
She's on Instagram too, right? And her whole page is about her hitchhiking from where to Cape Town?
The first time she was with her friend, she did from Great Britain to Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I met her in China, and we went kind of the opposite way, but this time she's alone. I hear crazy stories from her about that, but she know how she say no and how to react and how to, I think she have a good feeling for that.
Which also grows as you gain experience, right?
Yes.
I remember my first and only time hitchhiking before I met you. I was in Costa Rica and I was working in this jungle hostel in Puerto Viejo. And we went into town. I went with a couple of friends to a club earlier in the night, and we took a tuk-tuk or whatever. And at that point, I just had no money, like literally nothing in my bank account. But we still went to the club and had a great time. But they ended up staying over at a different friend's hostel. But I was working at this hostel, so I needed to go back. It's like a 40-minute walk if I had to walk. So now it's 3 a.m. I have to walk back. It's not a great situation. My phone is dead. I have no money. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hitchhike for the first time in my life in these circumstances. I'm a little bit tipsy, it's not great. I hitchhike. The first person who stops for me is this old Spanish lady. And well, obviously Costa Rican lady, but they speak Spanish. So she lets me into the car. From the moment I get in the car to where she drops me off at the hostel, she's just screaming at me in Spanish. And I have no idea what she said. I'm so disorientated. I'm like, how am I gonna get home? Is she gonna take me home? Why is she screaming at me? I don't know, but I'm in the car. It's fine, we're going the right direction. She drops me off at the gate, and then she uses Google Translate when she stopped to her whole monologue to translate it. And it was like, what does your parents think? You cannot be alone hitchhiking at night by yourself as a woman. This is a dangerous street. What do you think you're doing? I was like, okay, thank you, Mama. I appreciate you, but I'm gonna go to bed now. So yeah, it is, I think, a different vibe, but that was my first experience hitchhiking.
I think that's a crazy good experience. Worked out well.
What was she doing awake at 3 a.m.? That's what I want to know.
Maybe searching for some lonely woman on the street.
Saving girls.
Saving girls, yeah.
Okay, anyway, continue with your route.
But you never did it again after that? No.
No, that was my first and only time.
Okay, and what was you thinking after that?
I was thinking that was easy. In Costa Rica, things are pretty expensive. So something that I also thought was, I would have paid probably $10 for that ride. Now I got it for free. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Because here, I think about that a lot. The transportation and the long haul buses, it's not that much. So it doesn't make that big of a difference. It's more just about the adventure and the sense
Exactly.
of connection with the locals. But like in America, when I was doing my exchange, I was always taking the Greyhound buses on little weekend solo trips, and I traveled across the whole of America. But then that would make a big difference because a 6-hour bus ride in America would be like $75, you know? So then hitchhiking would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I always could take a bus. And in India or in places like this, it's always cheap. Then you think about the comfort or going out. You have to go out of the city first, then you have to find a spot and speaking to a lot of people.
Oh, wait, just give the listeners a bit of context about how you actually start your hitchhiking day.
That changed as well. Like in the first half a year where I didn't pay anything for transportation and anything for accommodation.
Yeah.
Not at all the first 6 months.
Crazy.
During that time, I just walked a lot. And my backpack, I have to say, is like 28
It's so
kilo.
heavy. I literally
pretty
cannot
heavy.
put it on my back. It's so heavy.
So then I have to walk out or hopefully like try to get a ride already out of the city, which is really difficult.
Yeah.
In this perspective, I gotta change because I like the comfort now. You're in the city. It takes you 2 hours sometimes to go out of the city. So then it's just easier to take a Grab, which is like the taxi here, for like €1 or €2 out of the city, which saves you 2 hours and a lot of sweat to get to the starting point. It depends. You see a little bit like after you hitchhike for a while, you see which could be a good point for starting. Many cars going different directions. It's just one line going out of the city. It makes it easier if it's just one line, obviously.
Yeah.
Because they then sometimes people stop and they go left and right, but you want to go straight, or they just return because it's a city, you know.
Yeah.
Like they don't go off the city, so it's better to stay in the exit of the city to go farther. Also now with the accommodations, in the beginning I didn't stay in cities at all, or just in Couchsurfing, which is an app where you can find free accommodations all over the world from people who live there.
It's also really nice.
Which is also really, really nice, and I really enjoyed it. But it was also the being alone, you know. If I'm alone, I can just sleep everywhere. I don't care where I sleep. But then after India, I started traveling with people, and then it's cheaper also to share a room or accommodation.
Yeah.
And doing something in the city is also sometimes really nice with some people. Asia, it's super cheap to stay somewhere. But if I'm out of the city, I always prefer still sleeping outside, going into bed with the dark and waking up with the sun in your face. Yeah, I
really
think that's always a highlight.
How did the journey continue for you?
Okay, so we stopped at the route of Oman.
Yes, I also want you to tell the story about you staying with the royal family's cousin or something, and also
Yes.
the story of you playing volleyball with the Taliban.
Yes.
That's please,
Okay, I come to
200.
that later. So Konradin came to see me in Oman the first time. It was for him also the first time hitchhiking, first time sleeping outside,
Oh, sweet.
and the first time I inspired someone to.
And now you've got a
into that
whole little
thing.
cult following of people doing the same
Yeah,
thing as
actually,
you.
I think on the way now, I met a lot of people who like my way of traveling and do it now on their own.
Yeah.
And so we hitchhiked the whole Oman together 2 weeks, then he left again. And then I went back to the Emirates. And because you want to hear the story, I forgot already to tell. In Riyadh, in the capital of Saudi Arabia, also Couchsurfing. One guy accepted, was a guy from Great Britain. And he said he lived with his boyfriend together in his house and I can go there. And one of my friends drove me to their place.
Yeah.
And we went to this area and he asked me, like, are you sure we are in the right area? Turns out it was the most expensive area, capital of Saudi Arabia.
Crazy.
Well, you just see like Rolls Royce everywhere and like crazy expensive cars. But this house was, my impression was like, what is this? It was a golden elevator, 4 floors.
What?
I think 10 bathrooms over the whole house.
I'm sorry, I can't
big
get over the
pool.
golden elevator.
The golden elevator, literally. And for food as well, a small elevator next
No
to it.
way.
And his boyfriend was Saudi Arabian. They were both really, really nice. One day, as the boyfriend went out, said to me, okay, hey, please don't tell my boyfriend that I tell you, but you maybe wonder why we have so much money. And then he showed me the passport of his boyfriend.
Yeah.
And there was the king's name inside. And he said,
No
yeah, that's the cousin of the Prince of Saudi Arabia. Like
No
his grandmother
way.
was actually the queen of Saudi Arabia.
No.
So I was like, what is that? And they invited me for sushi, where they like fly the chefs from Japan in.
No.
And with like golden leaves on the sushi. It's really funny.
Why would people like that, accept couch surfers?
That's a good question. I asked myself that as well. So turns out the Great Britain guy did it a lot as he was young. He had a lot of reviews as well. So that was his kind of traveling before.
So he was couch surfing?
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the first time they got a couch surfer at their home. Like his boyfriend, he never experienced that, so he tried to show them this as well.
Sweet. And we're always talking about this, but I do think that your energy that you put out into the world is just so kind and magnanimous, and then you just attract those kinds of kindnesses and beautiful experiences back. I've never met anybody as lucky as this man. It's crazy. I thought I was a lucky person here.
No.
You're crazy lucky. Okay, continue with the story.
So that was just a side information from Saudi Arabia, and as I told you, after Oman I went back to the Emirates,
Yes.
to Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and that was a crazy experience as well. And from there I got a ferry to Iran. That was the time where Iran got bombed the first time, so I was not scared but aware of everything.
Yeah.
I spoke to the people, how do you think about the war and everything, and they're like, which war? So it's crazy also how you experience the news you get from your government or from social media or whatever about countries, and then you go there and you experience completely different things.
I had the same experience in India. I was in Rajasthan around the same time that the Pakistani and the Indian conflict broke out. I was literally in the province that's on the border where everything happened, and I knew nothing about what was going on. I was in Rajasthan and my mom just freaked out. She sent me all these news articles about everything that's going on, and I had no idea. Like, it was so chill there. And I asked some of the people working at the hostel, some of the Indian people, they said, yeah, something is going on, of course, but I mean, it's not that bad. But I think I noticed it when the only people who were foreigners at the hostel ended up being me and these two other crazy tourists. This former Miss Sweden and this ex-drug dealer from Bristol. And they had met each other just a couple of days before, and they got engaged. And by the time I met them, they were fighting. They wanted to break off their engagement. And it was so. Point is, like, just a few like really crazy tourists who ended up staying in Rajasthan. But yeah, I experienced the same thing. The locals were not really worried. They just felt like the media was really blowing everything out of proportion.
I think that's always also, like, even also with the government and the news and the people who really live there, it's completely different. That what I heard as well about Iran and how bad they speak about it. The most bad things they speak about a country like about India or Pakistan or whatever, also about war between these countries. It's just about the government.
Yeah.
And the governments of Iran is really bad, but the people are so lovely. It's insane. And so you hear really bad things about Iran, but the only bad things you hear is about the government of Iran,
that's
which
well said.
the people really don't like as well. You saw it now, it happened again, the protests. They don't want that government. So it's not the country which is bad, it's just the government. So I spent just, I think, 10 days in Iran and made my way to Pakistan. That was the first cultural change as well, or the next cultural change. Before it went slowly from Europe to Turkey, where you got a change between the European culture and the Muslim Middle East culture, and then fully into Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iraq, and then Iran still. It's Middle East, but you also feel, I don't know, it's a little bit different. And then in Pakistan, you have still like the Islam, I think the second biggest Islam country, and kind of India feeling.
Yeah.
I think it was Karachi, it's south. It was the old capital of Pakistan. That was my first stop. I also got escorted from the border to Karachi.
By the authorities?
Yeah, I couldn't hitchhike. It's not allowed. And they just put me into a bus for 12 hours for I think €2 I had to pay.
Okay.
Because they say if you don't have money, go back to Iran. Like literally say, I was hitchhiking, I just have €2 cash with me. Because in Iran, also no ATMs. I had to survive 10 days with just €50 there.
Yo.
And I had €2 left.
Yo.
And that I had to put into the bus then.
Yeah.
So I took a bus to Karachi. And Karachi, they call it also Little Mumbai.
Okay.
So you have the first time the feeling of the Asian India vibes and still Islam culture, Middle East culture. That's the interesting thing about hitchhiking as well, because change so slowly. Like you see how the landscape changed, how the people changed, the regions, everything, the language. Also like how the language interact with each other.
Yeah.
Like they speak different language, but they get things up from each other, and then to another country they also get things up from each other.
And you feel the textures of
Yes.
the world. You feel the textures of culture and how it changes and undulates as you go slowly.
Yeah.
It's not like now you're in Johannesburg, now you're in Bangkok, like a flight. You really feel the change happening.
Yes.
I like that too. I've been experiencing that
Yes.
while traveling with you.
And if you just go into an airplane, for me it's like a teleport. You go into an airport, after 10 hours, maybe you slept because it was a night flight, you wake up and you're in a different world. You have no idea how that happened or where you are, how far the distance even is.
Yeah.
And it's really nice then to be there and to see it, but I like it that it's like changed slowly and you really understand how it changed in the time back. Also the Silk Road in Pakistan and to China, the connection between Pakistan, the language.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. I really like that part.
I love that too.
Then I ended up in Pakistan and came to another big problem because I couldn't go to India.
Oh yeah, because you can't cross the border. If you've been in one of those countries, you can't go to the other one, right?
Yeah, they hate each other literally.
Like
And
India.
India have the problem that you can get an electronic visa, but that doesn't allow you to enter the country by land.
Yeah.
So you have to arrive by boat or by plane,
Okay.
which was not on my list.
Because one of the rules is you don't want to fly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there were two options. The first option was to try to find a boat from Karachi, which brings me to India. I tried everything, but there was no boats going, so that didn't work out. And another option was going to Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan in the north, try to get the paper visa and then just cross the border. But that was the first time I had to rush because I met a friend in Sri Lanka 1.5 months later. So I had a schedule. I went to Islamabad to get a visa and I ended up couchsurfing there with 15 other people.
Crazy.
It felt like a hostel,
Yeah.
but nobody paid there. And the guy who owns that place is like an artist and he kind of supported. And so many nice people at this place. It was insane. Like my friends, Luis and Jairo from
Yeah.
Brazil, my Turkish friend, my Russian friends, I met there as well. So we all had kind of the same problem that we wanted to go to India, but we stuck it all. And I went with the Russians at this time to the embassy of India, and they told us, yeah, you have to go to a visa office, you apply for that, and it costs you like $100 extra, and it takes between 2 and 3 months to get a visa. And that was no option at this time.
Yeah.
And I was like, should we apply? Should we not apply? So maybe there's just one option to fly then. My Russian friends, they just came from Afghanistan. They traveled without money at all. Also another crazy story. They already got a guitar. And then we went to a restaurant and they tried to sing Russian songs. And I was like, oh, okay, I can walk around and explain your story to the people. So I got ahead of them and then I really went from table to table in this restaurant. And we earned like 4 times more than they earn normally. And they're like, oh,
Wow.
fuck, yeah, that works out.
Yeah.
And people are really interested in the story there and really want to help as well.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice people in Pakistan. Every second table invited us for food. They said, hey, sit down, drink a chai with us.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to go to the next team. Like, I cannot drink so many chais and I run while we are around.
So much caffeine.
So much coffee. And then we get the idea to make a band there.
That's so cute.
And it was the first time I made my own band with
Band
two
with two
Russian
Russians.
friends
In Pakistan.
in Pakistan. in the capital. And they just know Russian songs and I speak a little bit of Russian, but I have no idea how to sing Russian songs. So I
Yeah.
became their manager. They even called me all the time their manager. It was so funny. And we went from restaurant to restaurant and tried our best to earn money.
That's so cute.
People were so interested. Like in the end, we got so much money that we could book our flights.
That's amazing.
And then we met a journalist and he invited us for an interview about hitchhiking in their national TV. So we went live to the morning show singing Deal Deal Pakistan. like a Pakistani song at 9 a.m. and live in the morning show. And after that, speaking about hitchhiking and our experiences, and we got invited for opening of a restaurant.
No.
With a fire show in the background. So we made in, I think, 3 weeks. We worked like 3-4 hours a day, and we got like $1,400 in total, which was enough that they could fly to Malaysia and I could fly to Sri Lanka. Yeah, so we made it.
I love that story.
Yeah, it was an amazing adventure.
But at what point did you go to Afghanistan? You didn't mention that.
Later.
Oh yeah, so that
from
wasn't.
Sri Lanka, I went to India by boat.
Yes.
So that was possible. And then from India, I went to Nepal, met my sister there. Then I met my other friend Ollie from my school. We went to the Mount Everest base camp, trekking. Then I went back to India, and then I went back to Pakistan, which I could cross the border now because Pakistan has an easier border process. And there I met my Turkish friend again, which I met in this house, the Couchsurfing house in Islamabad before. And with him together, because he went to Afghanistan 1 month before already, we went back to Afghanistan, or he went back to Afghanistan for me the first time, and spent there 2 weeks together.
Crazy.
And was hitchhiking with the Taliban.
And also camping.
Camping.
In Afghanistan, wild camping.
In Afghanistan, close to the Taliban office. Then the night you always see the lamps on us if everything is safe.
Crazy.
We slept in the Taliban office in our hammocks. We even saw still like the bullet holes in the walls or in the cars, and that was insane. And then played volleyball against the Taliban. It was also a nice experience.
I need to know, what was your experience of the Taliban, like the people? Because obviously we have these insane stereotypes and stories that we hear in the media, but you were literally sleeping in their office, playing volleyball with them, hitchhiking with them.
For me, they were super nice. So I just had, I think, 2 Taliban where I had like a small conflict about, one time about my drone and one time about like that we want to sleep outside, but he said, no, you have to go in a hotel.
Yeah.
That was the only bad experience or discussions I had with them.
Yeah.
Like really discussions.
Not even fights.
Yeah. The rest, they were super nice to us. They were helping us. We were sleeping close to the Taliban office. They took care of us. They say, if you want to go to the next village to get some food, you can take our motorbike. We got their motorbike to drive around for free.
No way.
They brought us food for free. They really took care of us.
Yeah.
Then it's again this other, if you see it from the other side, about the woman part.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of problems, and also the people who live there, they are also split up. Some really like them because they bring safeness into the country. They took the guns. Not everyone have a gun, just certain people. And the IS is more or less gone now. So
sorry, what is gone?
The IS.
ISIS?
ISIS.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
So that was the most dangerous part before.
Yeah.
But if you take the women rights, it's a big problem there. But I felt really safe there. I had no problems. There were guns everywhere, but it felt safe more than Iraq, for example. Iraq still felt safe, but I think there are more rules and more checkpoints and everything in Afghanistan than in Iraq. I wouldn't even say I would go there again.
Really?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't go there again because it felt like you are 50 years back in time. Everyone is watching you, and not in a way like, like here, for example, everyone is like trying to make pictures of you, smiling at you. They are like, they look at you like you are an alien walking around.
How do you deal with that? Just being in countries where you're so obviously a foreigner, you're so out of place. You're much taller than everybody else. You're white.
I love that, actually. Usually I love that because you feel so kind of weird in these places, and it's also interesting how the people react then to you. But there it felt, I don't know, it felt different, not in a really, really nice way. And after a while, there was my only food poisoning on my whole trip. I was in Afghanistan. If you are not well in these countries and you want to be alone, it's really hard because you cannot be alone there. Everyone try to look at you, come to you, speak with you, whatever.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, Afghanistan was a crazy experience, but finally left back to Pakistan. And it was my 3rd time Pakistan then already. Then was time for the next chapter, was China.
Oh, how was China?
So I made my way up to the highest border in the world. It's like on 4,300 meters. Finally snow again. It was kind of winter. That was also an interesting time because then you see in West China, there is also the Islam culture. And because the Silk
Interesting.
Road went to there, and it was a lot of routes back in the time where they brought like, clothes there and exchanged and spices and whatever. So this part of China is completely different than the rest of China. It's also more secured. You have to like tell every time you arrive somewhere the police that you are there and all these kind of things. There's a lot of security in China. And it was kind of a rush because you just got as a German nationality just 30 days visa free.
Yeah.
So I had to cross whole China, which is I don't know how many thousand kilometers, by hitchhiking in 30 days. Yeah. So I ended up out of this 30 days, I think in like 11 days, just pure hitchhiking.
Yeah.
And it took more time than usually. Like in the Middle East countries, it was super easy. You waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get picked up. And in China, it was an hour again.
Oh,
but
wow.
I still experienced really nice people there. Like people try to help. Even the police stopped cars for me, tried to get me into rides. But also they don't speak English at all in China.
Yeah.
Like even in Afghanistan, I had more people who speak English than in China. Also, every app you need a VPN before. You cannot download anything if you don't have a VPN. No
Yeah.
WhatsApp, no nothing without VPN. They have WeChat, Alipay, so everything. It's in WeChat. You can pay. You can order taxis. You can translate things.
Really?
Everything is in this app. Yes.
Wow.
And everything is on Chinese.
Of
so you have
course.
to find out how that works. And yeah, for me, China was an interesting experience. You know,
Yeah.
after Afghanistan, it's like 100-year difference. They are so futuristic there.
Yeah. On the point of liking being out of place, I also experienced that. I actually wrote a blog post a while ago where I said like feeling deliciously out of place.
Nice name.
I wrote it actually after we had that stopover in Vietnam where we went to the family, we stayed in this homestay, and the owner of the homestay invited us to have dinner with her family, and we were just sitting on the ground, and after a while they just saw that he was so uncomfortable, so they brought him a chair
Chair.
out of nowhere, but everybody's like sitting on the ground, sitting around pots of noodles, and we were eating, and you don't really know how to eat the food or where to pass the pot, or they poured a glass of what looked like water, and I just took a big gulp, but it turned out to be rice wine,
Rice
which tastes like pure vodka.
Yeah.
And I remember in that moment just feeling like, this is why I travel. I love this feeling of being humbled, of being in a place where you don't really know the customs, you don't really know what is normal, and you're forced to be kind of like a child again
Yeah.
and learn how they experience their normal lives and how they do things and the little customs. And because I don't know, I feel like to get personal for a second, growing up, I never felt like I fit in. I always thought I was like this kind of
Yeah, I
weird,
get that.
nerdy. I read so much. I was just not, I never felt cool, which I'm now grateful for because I didn't peak in high school. And then when I started traveling, it's like, you don't have that pressure to fit in because you're never going to fit in.
Yeah.
You're so out of place that it's actually, you're freed from that expectation of fitting
You
in.
have to try to act normal, but it's
Yeah.
difficult to.
Yeah. And then when you're put in that position where you feel so out of place, you're in a very vulnerable state.
Yeah.
And being in that state, I think, is the best way to experience a different
Yeah.
culture in a different
Out of
country.
your comfort zone.
Yes, because you don't feel superior in any way.
Yeah.
You're the one stepping into their world,
Yeah.
into their normal. And that's what makes it so nice. And that's where the hitchhiking also comes in, where you step into their world. You step
Yeah.
into literally their car, their routines. Maybe they
Exactly.
stop at a market.
Yeah.
You have to join them. And yeah, it's just a whole different way of experiencing
I 100%
experience and
agree
travel.
with that.
Before we go on with your journey, I do want to also find out, what do you think makes this kind of travel special and different from normal travel? So what are some of the reasons why you would tell people to do this instead of just normal backpacking, staying in hostels, staying in hotels?
Both have its good things on it. For example, going into a hostel, it's nice if you're maybe starting the travel to have some other tourists and you can connect. If you're lonely, you can experience it together because
Yeah.
you're maybe not completely in the beginning so out of comfort that you would do all the things alone. So it's maybe nice to go in a hostel. It's easier to connect with people from the same kind
Yeah.
than in just doing things like me, like going out in the middle of nowhere and try to survive somehow.
Yeah.
I think it's an easier start. It's the same with taking a bus or taking a flight. But I think the moment you really want to see the countries and you want to explore the locals and explore the nature, the language, because sometimes also you learn the language while hitchhiking
Yeah.
because they don't speak your language and then they try to teach you also. So you get involved in this whole bubble of this country and not only going out with somebody you met in the hostel and then you experience the city. Of course, you see the city. Of course, as you said already, like you go to a restaurant and you speak maybe a little bit with them, but
Yeah.
you're still like a customer, and for
Yes.
them more like a normal day routine that they
Yes.
speak to tourists and not really special, but
Yeah.
that you stay actually on the road. And so many people are so surprised that, what the fuck are you doing? You need help? You need money? Should we bring you to a bus station or
To a
and then-
hospital?
To a hospital? What do you want from me? And then to explain them that, and they are also crazy, and
Yeah.
then it's a whole different just interaction already. Like they react to that really different, and I think it's just a different kind of traveling. And for me, I prefer that. But now after a while, of course, you don't want to get all the time out of your comfort zone. At some point, I enjoy sometimes after a rainy day or a long day, maybe having a shower somewhere. Instead
Maybe
of
having a shower.
instead of just taking a water bottle and put it over your head to feel a little bit fresh.
Let everybody just know that he only showers when it rains. You
Yes,
just
exactly.
admitted
yeah,
it.
or jump into the ocean. Exactly. But I'm still, if I have to hurry to go somewhere and I would take a bus, I feel unsatisfied. Like I have normally less comfort in the bus than in a hitchhike, because in a hitchhike you have a car, they stop somewhere, you have more space than in the bus maybe, especially me, I'm 2 meters tall.
Also, like yesterday, we were on this hitchhike where we were on the back of the truck and
Yeah.
we were just driving through these valleys, the most insane views. And we were standing up, just being able to look out. And we felt like royals,
Yes.
greeting all the children and waving to everybody as we went past. And sometimes you have even more comfort.
Yeah, exactly. Then they invite you for a coffee and
Yeah.
all these things happen just because you don't pay for a bus, you get something for free. It's
Yeah.
even like, you don't think about that
Yeah.
things like that would happen, but they actually do. And I think that is pretty cool. Of course, with the comfort sleeping outside and inside can be also different. But for example, in Afghanistan, my friend and me, we slept outside in the middle of nowhere. And in the morning, we woke up and 2 guys watched us. And I was like, "Yeah, they don't speak English." We're like, "Oh, what are they doing?" And
Yeah.
they were just confused. And out of nowhere, they brought us breakfast. And we were sitting with the whole family eating toast and some cheese
So
with
cute.
some chai tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these kind of things and this randomness, as you said, it's so random sometimes and so spontaneous that it makes it even more cool.
Yes.
Than instead of booking something and everything is planned. And I think it's freedom.
Yes.
You know, you don't know what happened and you're surprised by everything. And even if something don't work out, you're like, oh, okay, why not? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So in the end, you need food, you need the sleeping place. That's it.
Yes, that is so well said. That's
Yeah.
exactly the conversation we had yesterday where I was like, this needs to be on a podcast. That's exactly what you said. The beauty of the randomness
Yeah.
and the spontaneity. You just realize, one, how kind people are,
Yeah.
just in general, across cultures, which is really nice. You realize that you need so little to survive and to have a really beautiful experience and a beautiful life.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, traveling this way requires a certain amount of surrender. You have to surrender control in a
Yeah.
certain way, and you have to give your trust over to these people that you don't know. And in a way that just opens you up to the most beautiful gifts from the universe, these random experiences that the universe gives you. For me, it feels like it's saying, look at how amazing life can be. Look at
Yeah.
all these cool things that can happen to you if you just trust in the kindness of other humans and you give yourself over to randomness.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I think so as well.
Speaking about human nature, do you think that you've learned anything about, I don't know, truths about human nature since you've been interacting with so many different people from so many different cultures in such an intimate way?
I thought about a lot about especially religions because I think there's a lot of fights about Islam against Christians or Jewish or Buddhists, Hindus, whatever, about, oh, this is the right religion, this is the right religion. But if it comes to the main things, they are all the same. And I think these even if they don't have any religion, if you go back to the basics, be kind to each other, smile, don't think anything negative about other people. And I experienced this in all of these religions.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they are Muslims or Buddhists or whatever. And like invite people. It doesn't matter even, they don't have to invite me, but
Yeah.
just being nice and not like rude or whatever,
Yeah.
and try to help. And I think I really take that up for myself as well. Like if I see somebody in trouble, the first thing I want to do is just like, hey, can I help you or whatever?
Yeah.
Because I experienced it on my own and I want to give that. And I think this is the rhythm of life as well. You experience something what you really like and then you give it to other people and share that.
That's the rhythm of life, paying it
Yeah.
forward.
I experienced a lot of kindness on my trip and a lot of helpful people. Even if the car is full and they stop for me and ask if I need help, or they just put down the window and said, hey, sorry, I'm full. Sorry,
Yeah.
we can't take you. And
Yeah.
even that like small interaction, like, hey, they wanted to help but they can't. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind. This kind of human nature is what I really love.
It's like what you said about when you were traveling with the guys, that they got the ropes to put your bags on the car.
Yeah.
Oh, tell that story.
So that was here in Indonesia. Actually, the first day we arrived, my friends and me, we were 3 people, and we tried to go from Dumai to Medan, which is an 11 hours ride. And while we were hitchhiking, we waited 5 minutes, and the car stopped. And that was a 6-seater car, and there were already 4 people inside. So we said like, can we come with you? They go to, and then, it turns out they go to Medan.
Exactly
Like,
where you want to go.
Exactly where we want to go. It's 11 hours ride.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, come. And then my friend Konradin and me realized, oh no, it's full. There's no space for us if we put our backpacks in. So we said, hey, I think it's full. We have a lot of backpacks. They say, no problem. He runs away and went to from shop to shop and asked them for ropes. And then he ran back with like a full hands full of ropes and took our backpacks and put it on the roof.
That's crazy.
And tied it up that we have space inside. We were vibing so much. We invited them for food at least. We were singing and vibing and speaking somehow with Google Translation. And it was one of the best rides I think I ever had.
Oh, that's so nice.
So sweet. And these kind of things are always in my head. Like what you can make possible if you just want
Yes.
to. And even, for example, in Croatia, I met a Nepalese guy and he was super in rush. He was already late to his job, but he even stopped for me and just to help me somehow and to just say, come, I bring you. And this kind of thing made me realize, like, is it really important that you be 5 minutes late or not, instead of like helping someone who really like needs that? So which things are important in life? And in Germany and Europe in generally, I think that's why I experience also waiting so long there. Everyone is scared, maybe taking you is in a rush. So they lost this being nice to each other or help each other.
It makes me think of how the people who struggle to find joy, people who are obviously, I don't want to speak to like real mental health diseases that I don't know much about, but I just think a lack of joy in general, you can find a lot in people who watch the news, who don't get out of their comfort zones, who have nice homes and cushy jobs, but they're just like in this bubble of negativity. But then the most joyful people, the most beautiful, kind souls that I've met are either travelers like us who have seen people with much less be so happy, and you kind of get out of your bubble and you realize what's really important. Like you just said, I love that. But then also seeing people like the little towns we pass through when we're hitchhiking, the people are so happy, and they're people who really don't have much. They are the ones who have the most open hearts and the most open hands. And it's also kind of, I think, maybe a European Western mindset that needs to be interrogated, but that's a whole other podcast topic.
Yes, I think so.
Anyway, getting back to your trip. So what was next?
So after China, I ended up in Laos, where I stayed just for a couple of days because my first trip back home was a few days later. It was not planned at all, but my best friend got a child and I became the godfather. And my mother had a birthday, and after more than a year, it felt right to take a flight back to Germany, even if it wasn't planned. And I said I don't want to go back. It felt right. So I flew back from Bangkok. So after Laos, I went to Thailand
Yeah.
and flew back to Germany for a 5 weeks break. And it was amazing. And it also opened my eyes for Germany, maybe because I didn't have to work and it was summer. So it was a really nice experience back in the time. And Germany also increased in my view on it. Like I definitely liked it more after I came back from this short visit than before.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I didn't want to skip anything, obviously. So I just flew to Germany and then flew back to Bangkok directly. That I don't like go farther than I already hitchhiked. Met Conradin again, and we went together to Vietnam, and we bought motorcycles in Hanoi, and without any license, tried to learn how to drive a manual motorbike in the middle of million city. Successfully, we managed somehow and had an amazing adventure to the north with our motorbikes. Also experienced a lot of kindness in the small villages.
Yeah.
So even without hitchhiking, you end up while you are on bicycle, like Luis and Jairo, they bicycle the world, or we did with the motorbikes there. You end up in a village where no tourists are, and you experience a whole other country than in the touristic spots. I mean, you know the best. After I went to Hoi An, I met Carmen, and after spending a month there, we traveled together in the south, right?
On his motorcycle.
On my motorbike with all the luggage.
Everything strapped to the side.
Somehow, I don't know
Traveled
how
how
this
many
motorbike did
kilometers?
that.
Like almost 1,500 kilometers?
1,500 kilometers could be.
Down to
Ho Chi Minh.
Saigon, to
Yes.
Ho Chi Minh. That was really incredible.
Yes.
Traveling through this small town, stopping in all these little random places, staying in homestays. I really love that. Some of my best travel memories.
And even there, like eating the cheapest food because there are no tourists at all, and you just have the local prices.
It's really nice experiencing a country that is not kind of putting its best face forward for tourists. I experience this now in Indonesia. Like in December, I was in Bali for my group trip that I hosted with World Packers. I'm also hosting another one. The group chat is officially open. So if you're interested in a wellness retreat in Thailand, a little advertisement in there. I'll link it in the description box. But anyway, I was in Bali for this group trip. Bali is amazing, but it's just for tourists. Like coffee shops, Western food, wine bars, really nice for a holiday, But if you want to see Indonesia, if you really want to travel, it's completely different than what we've been experiencing. Hitchhiking through all these small little towns that for me was just 10,000 times more special than a normal touristy prepackaged experience in Bali. I remember the other night we were sitting on the back of this pickup truck. The sun was setting. We were driving through the rice fields, all these little houses, people making fires, and everybody's like, what are these people doing here? But that experience was so much more special for me because you get a glimpse into what the country actually is.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I kind of want to see also the Taj Mahal and I want to see the Great Wall of China, even if it's super touristic. I'm interested in that as well. And even if it's a completely different experience, it's also part of the country, and you cannot just say, "Oh no, I don't go there." It's a touristic thing. But you're also a tourist.
When people say that, I want to say, get over yourself. It's like saying I'm not going to go to the Eiffel Tower when you're in Paris. You can be a traveler and a tourist. You can see the touristy stuff, but also get out of the tourist comfort zone a little bit and experience the country as it really is. But just because you do that doesn't mean you're too cool to actually see the nice touristy spots. Yeah,
it's a mixture between both of them. It's also nice to interact then with other tourists again, like learning from their experience in this country, having some like mindset change again, because it's also nice to speak to like Western people because it's a different mindset as well again. And you also meet really nice people still. For example, Ollie, we met in...
hi, Ollie.
Hi, Ollie. We met in Vietnam as well. He's hitchhiking now as well. So you kind of inspire people in these areas as well after you telling them your story. And I think that makes it beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a nice gift you can give to someone. It goes so far beyond just getting somewhere without having to pay. It's the gift of realizing how beautiful humans are and how kind the world actually is.
Yeah.
So then the cool thing that you did in Vietnam is you didn't really pay for transportation, even though you bought a motorcycle. So
Yes.
tell them that story.
So in the end, I think I bought this motorbike for like 320 euros, which is insanely cheap.
Crazy.
I think we had to repair it every 2 days, but for maybe 2-3 years. So in the end, it doesn't really matter.
And all the random times that it broke down, it's like randomly right next to a repair shop that we
Yes,
broke
or
down.
pickup stops and ask if they can bring you to the next repair shop or
Yeah.
whatever. So there's always a way. Whenever you think, fuck, how should we solve that problem? The universe sends you a solution, and if you are open for that and like think positive, and even if this motorbike stay there for 2 days and you sleep in the middle of nowhere, who cares?
Yes, that's the point, right? That's part of the randomness and the nice
Yes.
experience. And then you get to meet some people there that maybe you were
Yes.
meant to meet.
And in the end, I sold the motorbike in Ho Chi Minh
Yeah.
for 300 euros, or minus 20 euros in the
Amazing.
end, and had 3 months of a really, really nice trip through Vietnam with this motorbike, which we really miss.
Yeah. Oh, I miss that motorbike.
Yes, and then she flew to Bali.
Yes, for the group trip. So that then after that we traveled together, minus the group trip that I hosted.
Yeah,
And
I went to Cambodia
yeah,
and back to Laos, and then we met in Thailand again.
Yes, because I also had to go home for funeral.
And for your
And for
passport.
my passport that was full.
The full passport,
Yeah.
can you imagine that?
Full passport that I had to fly home.
Such a flex.
Because apparently, if you want to get a new South African passport, I don't know how it is for different countries, but for South Africa, if you want to get a new passport while abroad, you would have to wait 6 to 12 months,
Yeah.
which is insane. But if you go home, I got it in like 10 days.
Yeah.
But so we kept on traveling together, and then I started hitchhiking with you, and I've been experiencing the camping, and then we did Thailand.
Yes, Sumatra now. Yes.
Literally, I landed and we went straight into the jungle for like
Same day.
same
Same
day,
day.
2-3 day trek looking for orangutans.
Orangutans.
Orangutans?
Orangutans.
Orangutans.
Orangutans, which means like
Forest man.
forest man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and
also really nice.
seeing the orangutans, their vibe, they are so human-like. It's crazy. And we found out they share 97% of the DNA with humans.
They even
Really
can imitate you. I had the feeling they even watch us.
100%.
We watched them, but they also were curious about us, and I had even goosebumps watching in their eyes and
Yeah, the
having eye contact.
emotions, the
Yeah.
emotions on their face is so clear. Sometimes they would look kind of languid and lazy. Other times they look kind of curious, and
Yeah.
how they move their hands, it's
They are
so
so special.
human-like. Seeing them in the wild is crazy.
Yeah, but I think just in total, you can tell everyone, go out, experience things on your own. I can tell you this, and you can make different experience, good or bad, but in the end, everyone would have similar experience. If I hear from Courtney or Ollie or whatever, whoever is hitchhiking, I hear so many good stories, even if it's not the same, it's in a similar way. So I think it's possible for everyone. Maybe not the same as I do. Don't have to be that crazy that you sleep outside and make yourself the rules. But
Yeah.
if you have time, if you are young, because now you have the time, I don't know what is in 10 years, then just go out and experience the world, see how nice people are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you don't need money to do it. I think you're
Yeah.
one of the best examples of that, like literally starting with so little and trying to make it so far without really spending money. Because it's not about capitalism. It's not about aiding some kind of tourist money mongering scheme. It's about experiencing the world as it is, and
Yeah.
also giving yourself that gift of trust in other people, in experiencing the kindness of the world. But also, like I said, I think the most important thing for me, and this is my travels have given me this, but I think the hitchhiking has heightened it, is that trust in randomness.
Yeah.
And giving yourself over to the
Yeah.
beauty of randomness. And I wanted to tell you the story. I haven't told it to you before, but so when I was in, where was I? Nicaragua, Ometepe Island, and I was staying at this hostel, El Zopilote hostel, really beautiful. It's on a permaculture farm. So the beds itself, it's kind of outside. There's nets around the rooms, but you're basically outside. They have hammocks too, but it's mostly for chilling during the day. And I remember I got in bed one night and there was a double booking in the bed next to me. And it was after a party, so it was already really late. But the two people came back at the same time, a guy and a girl, and they realized that they booked the same single bed. And the guy was kind of like, I mean, chivalry is dead, apparently. He was like, yeah, well, I'm taking the bed.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, I don't know what to do now. So she had to go sleep in the hammock because the receptionist wasn't there. And the next day she came back into the room and I had just woken up and she was crying and she was so mad. And she said it was such an awful experience. she can't believe this guy took her bed. I walked past her where she was talking to the receptionist. And even though they immediately told her, we're so sorry, we'll give you your money back, she was being so mean to the receptionist. And she was just making this whole experience for herself so awful and building it up in her head. And I remember back then, even before I was having all these crazy experiences with you guys, like thinking that could have been such a cool story. Like you could have said that, oh, I slept outside in a hammock after a party because it was double booked, and it was like fun, you know. It's one night of maybe.
Remember me on our hostel experience in the abandoned hostel.
In the what?
In the
hostel?
abandoned hostel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The one night we booked. That's so true. We booked the hostel in Koh Samui in Thailand. And we got there really late, and turns out the hostel didn't
close 2-3 months ago.
Doesn't exist anymore, but all the doors were open.
Yeah,
and
it
so
was an empty house.
Completely empty. Also, everything else was fully booked because it was like the day before Christmas.
Yeah.
And it would have been so easy to be really pissy about that and like, oh, be mad, and I don't know what we would have done, but we just took it as an adventure and we camped in this abandoned hostel.
Yes, just slept on the floor with air mattress which I had.
It was so
here,
nice.
And I put all the things I had on the ground that I can sleep somewhere. But it was amazing, and that's another story which I really like to tell as well. There are always two sides on a story, right? And depends on you what you do with it.
Yeah, you choose the experience you have in the end.
You choose the side of the view.
You can be sulky, or you can see it as an adventure.
Yes, there is so much more than negativity, and I think you can see everything as a possibility to grow as well.
Yes.
Makes you just stronger.
I love this conversation.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm so happy I can share a piece of this wonderful man that I've been traveling with, and his energy and his heart. I'm so glad you guys get to see a part of that, because you've been inspiring me for the past 5 months so much. Yeah. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I really love that you're open to that. Not everyone could travel like this, but I really love seeing you like that.
Yeah.
Now finally ended up in a podcast.
Well, thank you for listening along, and I hope this
Thank you
inspired
very
you.
If you have any questions,
Yes.
write it in the comments below.
Yes, and also tell them where they can find you online.
You can find me literally everywhere, all under the same name, and I'm the most active in Instagram. Maybe a little bit lazy at the moment, but you find me under Leon Hitchhike.
I'll link it below. I'll see you next week. Until then, don't forget to get a little bit lost. That's where the magic finds you.
Subscribe and like.
And subscribe and like. I always forget that part. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.